turned this one down basically the same way as I did that one. And I haven't tried it yet. Now I do realize that there is going to be a little bit of wobble. There just has to be, because this plastic, it gives a little bit. But anyway, let's just stick them in the wood lathe and see what we've got. If there's a little bit of wobble, that's okay, because all it's going to do is just slowly turn so I can get the CA glue on. I don't know if I'll actually do the sanding in between these centers or not, but yeah, let's give it a whirl here, see what happens. Now, one thing I want to mention before we actually go over to the lathe, and that is that sometimes when I use the barrel trimmer, I'll get a little tiny bit of a burr here. And I've often thought of, how can I get rid of that? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ream it out very, very gently. Now, I'm not going to go forwards because then it'll have a tendency to grab. I'm going to go in reverse. Just very, very gently here. Just take that burr off. And I'd like to mention here as well that one of the regular viewers said that he also deburred the inside of his brass tubes. So it's probably a pretty good idea. If I go in the other direction, it could grab and all of a sudden dig in. Okay. Yeah. Something I should mention here. I think it was in the last video I was kind of complaining about how I'm going to have to always have a couple of wrenches handy. Well, one of the viewers says, why don't you just adjust it once and then leave it that way and then use the mandrel saver all the time to just move up and down wherever you need it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Now this does not have to be real tight. Just snug. Okay, you're going to see it along with me for the very first time. I have not actually tried this out yet, so here's hoping the wobble isn't going to be too bad. Well, I think it'll be okay for applying CA glue. I wouldn't want it like that though if I was trying to turn it down. Now in the background you can probably hear my air cleaner running. The reason for that is I don't want the fumes from this CA glue coming up into my eyes. And anyway, here we go. I'm going to put it on and wipe it off. This is the second blank. Each one has had 8 applications like you saw me do. And my thought was to just reinforce the wood here. I'm still going to sand it down and then put a little bit of wax on it and do it the old traditional way. Maybe at a later date I'll try for a CA finish. I'm using 800 grit sandpaper here. All I want to do is just make everything nice and smooth. I don't want to take it down any smaller. Okay, this is what they call cut and polish. In other words, there's a grit in it. So I don't know if this is a good idea or not, because it could end up taking the metal off of the bushings and getting it into the wood. However, this is all about how thin we can go, not about how nice we can finish it. Okay, we'll speed her up a little bit here. Right now it's turning 1100. That's 3100. Okay, let's have a little close look here. Just one application, looks pretty good. Well, it is very apparent. We are ready to press. So all being well now, the pen blank should mate up perfectly with the nib. Let's see what happens. That looks pretty good. Notice those little black flecks? Well, I believe that's the metal that came off of the bushing. So I obviously did not do a real good job of sanding. When I do a good job, those aren't there. Now the next step is to press the transmission into this end. And you have to be careful not to press it in too far, because if you do, the refill is going to be sticking out all the time. In other words, you won't be able to back it up enough to get the ballpoint back into the nib, so that you're not going to be getting blue ink, or maybe in this case black ink, on your shirt pocket. So let's just take this little cap off here, and let's put this on. We'll screw it in place as far as it'll go, like that. Then what we'll do is we'll adjust this thing here and see what happens. How far in can we go? Okay, right now. Now I'm pretty good at doing voiceover, like right now, but I'm not very good at being able to talk and work at the same time. Some men cannot do two things at the same time, and I'm one of them. We go in. Yeah, I think we'll press it in. I don't know if you can see it there, but just behind the brass there's a little ridge or a little groove. I got a feeling that's as far as I'm supposed to press it. Let's see what happens now if I was to extend the refill all the way out. Okay, now I've got it so it's adjusted all the way out. Yes, that would be right. Notice that the ballpoint now protrudes from out of the nib if I go up to that little groove. So that's what we'll do. I got a feeling this is going to be a very tight fit. Okay, so I've got to go right up to that little groove and then stop. Here we go. Almost there. Little more. There. I think that should do it. Well, I think we should check it out now, because if it has to go in a little further, now is the time. Okay. You know what? I think I should go in a little bit further. That's all the way in. You see, the nib doesn't quite come out far enough. I think it should come out just a little further. So I'm going to shove it in just a little bit more, just so that that little groove disappears. Then I think it'll be right. Okay, very gently now. I don't know, did I move it in or not? Better get my other glasses and take a closer look. I don't think I moved it in. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. Just a little bit more here. There, that got it. Okay, this little decorative ring, it just goes over this little tube here. And it's pretty loose fit. I can see where a person could easily lose that. Anyway, next step is to press the clip on. See if I can get my big clumsy fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, it's going to go something like this. And because I do not want the clip to cover any interesting wood, just sort of check this over. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of interesting right there. I forget what they call that. Something rays. Now, I think we're just about ready to press it. And once again here, very gently. I think that's all right. Well, I just noticed it's really getting late here today. And if I want to get this video posted yet tonight, I better get the lead out. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be all right. Now, yeah, that's working. Now the idea is when you push this on, it should be finished. See what happens here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, there it is. Well, guess we better test it out. Now I know what you're thinking. I've already practiced. Well, each one of those tests is from a previous pen. It'll be from the Napoleon series. And yeah, but this is going to be the first test for this one. I'm not used to these slim little pens here. Here we go. Yeah, works good. Now, as I said a couple of times before at least, this is not about how beautiful a pen I can make, but how thin a pen I can make, or how slim. And this is as skinny as it'll get. If I made it any thinner, I'm sure I'd be right into the brass tube. Now, as far as I know, the Slimlines are the slimmest you can get. Maybe there's something else out there I don't know about. I'm sure that somebody will let me know if there is. Anyway, thank you for watching.